She's hinting that this whole thing goes deeper, touching every corner of the entertainment world. We're talking about a web of lies, secrets, and power plays that could change everything we thought we knew about how Hollywood really works. Girl, if what Jaguar's saying is true, it could be game over for Oprah and Diddy. We're not just talking about a little scandal that'll blow over in a week. This is the kind of bombshell that could bring down two of the biggest names in entertainment. The fallout from this, it could be bigger than any scandal we've seen before. So keep your eyes peeled and your ears open, because this story is far from over. The tea is just starting to spill, and it's about to flood the whole damn industry, whatever happens next. One thing is for sure, the entertainment world is never going to be
Johnny,
the
pick
same.
up all that stuff around you.
He's having a
You want to go sit over there and
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42.
She's supposed to be a good bitch. No matter who she with.
From the gun, Stroud.
The time he putting a groom in her,
give me that.
It's
Okay.
intercepted on the first play of the game.
it's still gonna work.
Nate
He
Wiggins
thinks
has got
he's
it.
gone.
And the Dolphins return the interception almost to midfield.
He's
before
doing
the
shit.
tackle's made.
Where's the put the boots to it last time I seen him? I am a trainer boyfriend.
Because they want to know what the instructions were behind the song.
So you hear about stories of Diddy like shooting people, blowing up cars. Is he this gangster that behind the scenes that is that him or is that
Shout out to Wendy Williams, the first woman.
That's because she went in on him.
The homo.
Dolphins as they get set for their debut series.
That's what these
And
damn
then
little
brought out by the reigning
was called when
MVP,
Wendy
the
first
second
started
of
talking
his
about it
career,
in the
the best
90s. The
runner
homo
in the game,
thug.
it's Lamar Jackson.
She talking about
You hear me
Diddy.
say all the time, Kate, that football is the ultimate team sport, but
and
there
then
are
what's
times
the
as a
stuff that's happened to
quarterback
Wendy Williams? You think this is all connection too?
match play. When your opponent gives you a shot, gives you an
They've been
opportunity with
waiting.
a pick, as a quarterback leading
They've
your
been
team,
waiting.
you want to maximize it and take advantage
They
of
was
it.
waiting for Q. Remember?
Big
He was waiting. The casket was ready.
This is Henry on second.
She was
I
literally
got him.
Secondary past the 40.
I don't.
And he will take it in.
Some people are saying the whole Wendy Williams documentary that she's pretty much allegedly playing this way to keep herself safe from him, from any unalive. It's been working for Orlando Brown.
Easily the rest of this game.
Why wouldn't it work for
Starting out,
Wendy
we
to play
all
crazy?
welcome the quick score.
Why wouldn't it
Not a
work?
lot of energy exerted, right? Not a lot of their
Hey.
karma shown just yet.
The
They only got a
Oostgaard
couple plays
Bourgeois
into their
shish.
strategy, and they found the pay dirt. A lot
But
of mystery
Orlando's
still to come
brilliant.
with what they're going to do
Right.
schematically.
Yeah.
Y'all spend time with him.
He did.
He's highly intelligent.
Yes.
Imagine what it's been like to wear this character for this long.
No.
Now
I
Tucker
go-
on to handle the
What he
kickoff.
does as a character. Actually, this thing he does online is the best
He fields
thing
it from
he
the
does.
8. He stops
Is he
on the
speaking
return
truth?
to the
Of course he
27.
is.
So the LA offense getting out there for their second
They're
drive.
not. See, quite
We
on
only saw this group for one snap to start the game, Brock. So hopefully we get a longer look at them this time.
You know, Kate, in a lot of ways, it may even be
Since
easier
he
to
was a
shake that
kid.
first one off. They're barely on the
Oh,
field.
man.
It's
And
really
if
a second
he
chance
milk
to write the
running
opening
the
series
fuck
you
around,
wanted.
talking about expensive
Give
pain.
me
And that's incomplete.
Yeah.
So unlucky there, too.
Wait, this is
Nearly
Philly
picked
talking
up
about now.
for
Wait a
first
minute,
down.
Jack.
Fuck me.
Wait a minute.
Covered on that
He's a
play. Really not a large window for him
He
to
did
sneak
it
that
back.
throw in.
This is Philly.
He's a deep fried. He did
Dropped
it
an
back.
incompletion.
He
Here
did
comes the
it
second
back.
down call.
Even that he do out me. Real well.
You think that audio that they put out was real?
Barkley.
Still,
And they limit the damage just a few yards on that game. Nate Wiggins getting up to end that play.
Nicky put that out
Hey,
there.
that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you
That's
see a
Nicky
bigger play on the
recorded
ground
at the
later
free
on,
call.
largely
In the Cowboys
because of a play
Texas.
just like that one, softening up the front and opening
She
the door
been waiting to drop the
bigger
shit on
gap
me.
in the future.
Throwing on
She
third
just
down,
wasn't going to tell
Stroud.
nobody it was Diddy. But now that Diddy out there.
And they finally
Why?
bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set
So
of
then
downs.
who's the guy who's claiming he
A
recorded
big play,
it?
23
Right.
yards to move
Oh,
the
somebody that got
chains.
paid?
From a great throw to a nice route and catch.
Yeah, he
to
said, like,
moving
I
the
was
chains.
somebody that got
There's a whole
paid.
lot
Yeah.
not to like about that amazing play.
Just like it wasn't seminal fluid that Justin Bieber was wiping away from his mouth when he brought his
First and
face
10,
up from
ball set up
Odell
at the
Beckham's
48.
groin in a club with Trey Songz on the lookout.
Option play. They
That's
give it to
crazy
Barkley.
because
Images are there.
they were just talking about Trey Songz. We right, he was here.
No diddy.
It's an 8-yard pickup.
If Jaguar Wright's telling the truth, the whole entertainment world's about to flip upside down. We're not just
But why
talking
do we
about
care?
Oprah and
Because you
Diddy here.
guys
This is about
worship
pulling
them
back
niggas.
the
We don't
curtain
worship
on the
them.
entire industry. The streets are saying this could expose all kinds of dirty secrets and shady deals we never even
Talk
knew about.
about
Can you
Jaguar
imagine
Wright,
what's going to
not Jaguar
happen if
Wright,
Jaguar
but
starts dropping
none of
names?
them motherfuckers.
Celebrities, producers, executives, nobody's going to be safe. This tea is so hot, it might just burn down. Hollywood. And you know what? Maybe it's about time. The industry's been hiding stuff for way too long. So keep your eyes
Way
on this
too
story.
long.
Because
She
it's
said,
far
wait
from
along.
over. The tea is just starting to spill. And trust me, there's a whole lot more coming. Whatever happens next.
Oh, he
One
burnt
thing's
him.
for sure. After this, nothing in entertainment will be the same. Ready for it?
The Chargers get it down to a single point.
How
Marvin
you let that
Harrison
nigga
Jr.
break
with
you?
the touchdown.
And you the Brian
I love
Dolphins.
plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Nigga, you
Yeah,
the better.
beauty
How
and
you let him
simplicity,
run on
right?
you
Yeah,
like
when you run that fly route, you gotta win right from the jump. And you gotta protect yourself from the sideline too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff.
Speaking of my lawyers,
Returning it from the 4.
I don't know if they've known them
And the
or
return
what they're
sets them up
looking
just
for
beyond
is
their own 20.
acts that are going to make
Now
the
we're going to
most
see the
money
Dolphin
for them.
offense for their
So
second
you
drive of
see
the
all kinds
contest.
of little gimmicks.
Their last drive
So
contained a heavy
the
dose
latest
of ground
on
game,
the
but
mystery
also
surrounding
dominance
Princess
on the way to
Daffy.
a
U.S.
touchdown.
Attorney
He did.
Office and
Let's see if they
DEA
stick with
are
it
now
or if they
joining
get
the
aerial this
investigation
time around.
as we learn more about a California doctor who says he was called to help a superstar.
At a time like this, if I was
Second
on
and
this
10, they need to
team
get some positive yardage
right
here.
now, then one pill could have been swapped
Now
out,
the run for Henry.
and it would be Michael
And
Jackson
bring
and
him
Prince
down
all
just
Need
over
all
again.
behind the
over
30
her.
at the 31.
his baby mama. I mean,
He got left
Khadijah,
out on
yeah.
a limb and somehow still had to create his way out of that. He was just
See, but people, a lot of people are saying that Tupac was getting ready to walk through that door.
With more Madden
Why y'all for all that keeping it real and all that shit? He was getting ready to walk through that door because he was having money problems.
And it's got everyone shook. Prince wasn't
That's
just
why he
growing.
got
Shade
in
for
with
fun. He
what's
was
her
trying
name,
to warn us about
Khadijah
some
and
dark
all
stuff
that.
going down in the music biz. Now, with all this drama around Diddy coming out, people are looking at Prince's interviews like they're
Well, he looked at her like a little spoiled girl who gets what she wants.
questioning everything you thought you knew about the
He's
industry.
like, bitch, you ain't finna
Trust
just
me, after this video, you'll never look
talk
at
to
your
me
favorite
any old
artist
kind of
the
way or
same way
whatever.
again.
defenders ready to stop him cold at the line. Second and 10, need to get some positive yardage here.
I like you, bitch, but fuck you.
We give to Henry on the inside handoff. And he found some running room for a nice gain. 8 yards on that play, and they only have 1 now to go on third down.
Before he died in my life,
Lamar off the play fake. Caught by his fullback behind the line. And the defense was ready. They got him at the line.
He been pulled the first one, and all of a sudden, you want to start. That's a lot.
We've hit the 2-minute warning now at Hard Rock. The Dolphins with the football.
Damn.
Either they gonna take you out or they gonna make you
Offense staying out there. It's 4th and 1.
We gonna choose to do well. Appreciate all the love and support that you guys.
They're going for this. He finds him beyond the marker. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line.
Motherfuckers is
It's a
disrespectful, huh?
13-yard pickup, and no worry at all on their side from being able to reach that marker on 4th down. That was impressive.
She say fuck your kids at first, then she got distracted. Sound like she about to say one of them pregnant or something already.
Singing about Purple Rain, he was raining down warnings about the music industry that had everyone's ears perking up. Remember how he get all freaking interviews, dropping hints, like breadcrumbs for us to follow. It's like he knew something big was going down, and he was trying to tell us without saying it outright. Prince was always on some next level stuff, talking about how the industry was more twisted than a pretzel. He'd be out here saying things like, the music industry is a matrix. It's a hologram. It's not real. And girl, at first, we thought he was just being his usual mysterious self, but now we're thinking he was trying to wake us up to some real dark truth. So why was he being so hush-hush about it all? It's like he wanted to scream it from the rooftops, but knew he couldn't. Maybe he was afraid of what would happen if he said too much. Or maybe he was protecting himself from the very forces he was warning us about. Whatever the reason, Prince was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. Let's break down some of the wildest things Prince ever said about the industry. He once told us, if you don't own your master owns you. That's not just advice, that's a whole warning. He was trying to tell artists to keep control of their work, or else they might end up in some serious trouble. And this Prince wasn't just talking in general terms.
But Johnny, look at this.
And one of those names was Diddy. Now, with all this drama surrounding Diddy these days, Prince's words are hitting different. It's like he had a crystal ball and saw all this mess coming from miles away.
I've never met an NFL player.
I know a lot of y'all have been wondering if there was any connection between Prince and Diddy and all the things Prince was exposing this week. And allegedly, there actually was some sort of weird connection. One, because of the deal Diddy had with Warner Brothers, the
That's not real. Don't believe none of what you see on that shit. It's AI.
and blackballing them.
It's AI. They can enlarge the background. Yeah, they can make you look bigger than what you really look.
Large advances from the recording companies. I was recording the album myself in the studio. So the way I looked at it, I owned the work because I paid for it. And I did all the work. I created it, so I felt like it should belong to me. That said, the companies felt otherwise. And they would always hold this contract up and say, well, you signed it. And I say, well, I understand that. It's not like I want to leave. I just want to, talk about this thing and see if we can't make it more fair. Of course, they wouldn't change because if they changed, they wouldn't really exist. That's kind of the situation.
Single possession in this league is a premium. And these ones right before halftime with the clock dwindling down, they become even bigger. Setting your offense up for success with a return like that, couldn't script it any better.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42.
You gotta do is something in his doors.
Here's Stroud now.
People don't really read the following person.
Catch is made down the right sideline.
You got points again.
The Chargers earn the chance to tie before halftime. You love seeing a tight end get the chance to show off those wheels, right? And in the best of cases, he can rumble the whole way home.
Kate, think of getting somebody with that type of mass
Right
rolling
today,
at full speed. Who's really going to want to stand in
It's
the
not
way?
like
Wants to stop him
we're
anyhow.
against them or anything like that. The idea is that we find better ways of working with one another. It shouldn't be a situation where they own the album or the work. We're talking about intellectual copyright. If they're going to be indeed a delivery service, then that's fine. But even FedEx doesn't say that they own the thing that they ship.
Two, Prince actually lent his house to Diddy for his parties, but he never attended the parties himself because allegedly Prince had his suspicions about what Diddy was doing with the pre-calls.
Yeah, the first Diddy party I went to was at
Making their way back out on offense. Not a whole lot of time left for him to put something together here before the break. The clock reads 24 seconds now as the final drive of this half begins.
Rest in peace, Prince.
Prince didn't just hint at Diddy, he straight up called him out. In one interview, Prince said, tell me a musician who got rich off digital sales. People doing pretty good though, right? Spotify's doing good, but what about the artists? Tell me somebody who got rich off digital sales. Why do you think the artists are telling you we ain't making any money? It's real. There ain't no getting rich. It's just making a living. And then he dropped the bomb. Prince looked right at the camera and said, Diddy and those guys, they're not the enemy. They're just trying to make a living, but they're not being fair to the artist. The way he said it, you could tell there was more to the story than he was letting on. But wait, there's more to this story than just words. Prince wasn't just talking, he was living. What he preached, he fought tooth and nail against record labels, changed his name to a symbol, and even wrote slave on his face. This wasn't just about music, it was about freedom, control, and exposing a system that he saw as corrupt to its core. Now, with everything that's coming out about Diddy and the industry, it's like Prince left us a
Punt team
roadmap
is
to the
on
truth.
now, and they
We're
kick
just
this
now
away.
catching up to what he knew
And the
years ago.
sidelights,
The
not a
question
problem
is,
for him. He looks
what else
up and
did
makes
Prince
the
know
fair
that we're
catch.
still in the dark about?
So no
Girls,
return on that
this
punt.
key is just starting to
And they'll have a
prove
chance
it,
to
and
run
it's
one
already
play
scalding
before
hot.
time expires. He takes a knee, and that's going to run out the final couple seconds of half number one.
He never attended the party himself because allegedly Prince had his
I never was
suspicions
into her
about what
music.
Diddy
I
was
could never
doing
get
with
into
the
her
free
shit.
throws.
After
The first
Destiny
Diddy party
Child
I
back in
went
the day
to
when
was
they
at
first
Prince's
came
house.
out.
So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party
Oh, I
because
didn't
he
know.
was performing
I
and
thought that
Demi
was
Moore and Ashton Kutcher are
what's her name?
swinging on swing.
I thought that was
That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party.
Number three, Prince's estate was also involved in a lawsuit with Jay-Z, who happened to be very tight with Diddy before his lawsuit. And the issue was that Jay-Z was distributing Princess's music on Tidal illegally. Well, unfortunately, it never ends well for the people who expose the likes of Jay-Z and Diddy. And record labels like Warner and Prince tried to warn us. Get seated, loves, because things are about to get even more insane with all this Diddy madness. You see, the thing about Prince is that when it came to ownership of and control over his music, Prince waged a career-long battle against any company that he felt stood in the way of artists' rights and money. And allegedly, he paid the ultimate price for that: death. Whether Warner Brothers was involved with having him unalived or not is still up for debate. But a lot of fans definitely think that they were involved in his death. For a bit of background, Prince was signed to Warner Music in 1977 when he was just 18 years old. And even though the albums he released between 1978 and 1981 did not do that well, he was kept on the label as he was regarded as a
Johnny, I
musician
broke on
that
him again.
progressed
One more
well
for
with
100 yards.
Warner, which at the time
Let's get touchdown number 3. I just got him.
Wow, just sensational speed from the back that time, Brock.
Why did he hit me, like knocking me out of bounds? I mean, like past the goal line. We're not supposed to do that.
You love those initiate guys that can get on base, but it's the whole
Not that far.
hitters that are the
Too
difference
far to goal
makers.
line is supposed to
And
stop.
what a big time effort.
Because you already scored.
It's just because he's too mad, they won't like come at you.
They can't do that. You get penalized for that. They will penalize you for that.
So that means that somebody like either at a hotel
Now
or
Tucker on to handle the kickoff.
Hey, Johnny, you excited to get your hair done? You getting it done this weekend?
He's got a lane up past the
Now
30.
hold up a minute. We've been talking about Prince's warnings, but let's switch gears and zoom in on the man he was warning us about. Diddy's been running the game for decades. But at what point, the streets are saying there's more to success than just hit records and vodka. What if I told you that some of your fave artists might have paid a price we can't even imagine? Let's take it back to the beginning. Diddy started out as an intern at Uptown Records, hustling his way up faster than you can say bad boy for life. This man went from fetching coffee to founding his own label in the blink of an eye. But Chili, success quick always comes with questions. How did he do it? Who did he step on to get there? The win started early, and they never
We ain't going for that this time,
now,
boy. We keeping
I'm
them
not
safety
saying
track
Diddy
here.
didn't work hard. The man's got hustle for days, but there's been talk for years about how he treated artists. Remember when Maze came out swinging, saying Diddy was holding on to his publishing rights like they were the last piece of chicken that took out, and he's not the only one. Artists like The Lox and even J-Lo have had beef with Diddy over copyright and creative control. But it's not just about money and music. There's been some seriously shady stuff going down in Diddy's circle over the years.
That
Remember
was
when he
BS.
first Shine got caught up in that nightclub shooting back in '99? Diddy walked away clean, but Shine ended up doing almost a decade in prison. And don't even get me started on the whole Biggie situation. To this day, people are still asking questions about what really went down.
Yeah, man. Anybody who is in law enforcement or people know the law, when Homeland Security ran up into his house, people will tell you, people knew there was just a matter of time that they was going to indict him and bring him in to see the judge, bro. It was just a matter of time. I just figured out with the grand jury and their different sessions and stuff like that, and then what one of the witnesses told me, I just figured it out that it was going to be around September that they were going to bring him in, bro. This is, it's, people might not understand. It's difficult when you see a brother that has so much promise become an icon as far as in the music business and stuff that he did, to turn around and just tear his whole life down. But it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business. The guy he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster. From the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without. And you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be. You gotta have principles, you gotta have morals, you gotta keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You gotta know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he was using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turns into something that you could consider a monster, bro. Then he started doing things to people. You understand that he learned. That's the learned behavior, bro. Now, I'm not saying that he may have been doing a couple of things here and there with women and stuff like that in New York, but the things that they're talking about that he was doing, bringing in prostitutes to have sex with his girl and all that stuff like that, that was some crazy stuff to me, man. So I'm just looking at this whole thing, man, and you have asked me, and we don't have these conversations like most people do. We're going to go back and tell me what, we're going to talk about this. You said, I'm going to ask you how you feel, bro. I don't want no man to ever go to jail and be leaving their kids behind, be leaving their family behind. You understand? What?
He keeps those feet in.
Some of them belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man. When they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bro. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie's doing. That's his doing. And it's learned behavior from the people that mentored him.
And girls, the list goes on. There was that time Diddy's former bodyguard accused him of setting up a shooting when his other ex-bodyguard turned up dead under mysterious circumstances. It's like every time you turn around, there's another story that makes you go hum. But here's the thing that's really got people talking now. Remember how Prince was always going on about artists owning their masters? Well, turns out Diddy's been in hot water over that exact issue. Just last year, Mace came for Diddy's neck on social media, calling him out, giving back his publishing rights. He said Diddy was offering to buy them back for the same price he paid in the 90s, even though their value has skyrocketed. It's like Prince saw all this coming from a mile away. He knew the game was rigged, and he was trying to tell us who was holding the deck. All those cryptic warnings about the industry, they weren't just about some faceless system. Prince was pointing fingers, and one of those fingers was aimed straight at Diddy. Now, I'm not saying Diddy's the big bad wolf of the music industry, but there's enough smoke here to make you wonder if there's a fire. Prince was onto something when he said Diddy and those guys weren't being fair to artists. It's like he was giving us the cheat code to understand what's really going on behind the scenes. But here's the million-dollar question. If all this tea is true, why hasn't anyone come out and spilled it all?
They run it with
Why
King
are we still
Henry.
piecing together
He's
clues
got
like
a
we're in
nice
some
gain
kind of
down
music
inside the
industry?
10-yard line.
It's
Mystery
about to
novel.
get
Well, that's what we're
Interception on the
about to
play,
dive
bringing up
into
2nd
next.
and 4.
And trust me, it's about to get real interesting. Was a
Well, you
company
gotta
that
do is look
appeared
at
to
old
invest
people. You're
long
gonna get
term
old
in
one day.
serious talent. In 1982,
You know what I'm saying?
1 year
You
after
gotta look at
Henry
old people. He
launched,
thought that he
Prince
was gonna be
became
like that forever.
Taken
went
in.
to
Touchdown,
the US for
Miami.
the first time. And
Yeah,
he
he lost
ran
a lot of
further.
weight.
Wins
That's
jumping
back
in
in the
front
day.
Understood the power of the music
Derrick
video
Henry
as
on
a
a
way to
Oh,
market
he's
to
touchdown.
down at the
artists and
bottom?
build their own
Okay, yeah.
iconography and mythology. At this point, fans were copying his look. And by
Yeah.
1984, with the release of Purple Rain, he was
That's the
arguably the biggest and
steroids.
certainly the most exciting pop
So
star on
how
the planet.
about the
Now, since Prince was
determination
becoming
there?
a
This
greater
game has
artist,
been
he
as
was able to
hard
set up his
fought
own
as you
label,
will
Paisley
see.
Park
But
Records,
they
which was
grabbed hold
part
of the
funded
lead
by
here with a
Warner,
late
which also
touchdown,
handled
and
its
they
distribution.
just
But
win
he
the
started
ball game.
realizing that he was getting less than he deserved, and so he started fighting for his rights.
Yeah.
I'm sure he thought it would just
Now,
be as
they
easy as
accomplish
telling
their
Warner
goal.
Brothers that he wanted
You
out,
do
but
have
that
to
was
ask
hardly
the
the case.
question.
Warner
They
Brothers
leave too
frustrated him
much
because
time on the
that's what
clock.
record labels do.
Stay
Then, in the
tuned.
build-up to the release of the Gold Experience, Prince and Warner were at loggerheads over both money and his
Now
music. So
Tucker
he
on to
decided to
handle the
take the
kickoff.
battle public by appearing with the word slave written on the side of his face. His argument was that
Pass
he was
return start
signed
to
to
the
Warner,
5.
and they, as a result, owned and
And this
controlled his
drive will
fame as
start
well as any music
inside the
released under that name.
25.
He also dramatically
The
changed his name to that
Chargers
of the
and
symbol
C.J.
and was referred
Stroud
to
all
as
set to go for their
Symbol
next
or
drive.
Squiggle, or the
And he has
artist
to be
formerly
happy
known
about
as
his game.
Prince.
We're
For
checking some
some
of the
time, the
highlights right
battle
now
with
that he's
Warner
made so
became worse.
far. A
And in
good showing. We've
1999,
seen
in
him
a
in
paper
the
mag
zone from
interview,
time to
Prince
time.
even spoke
It also
about
needs to
leaving the
seem to
company,
field
saying,
well
I
for a
wanted to buy
starting
my
role in this
masters back from
offense.
Warner Brothers. They said no. So I'm going to re-record them, all of them. Now you will have two catalogs with pretty much exactly the same music,
That's
except
why they
mine will
had to
be
kill
better.
him.
And you can
Drive
either
Because he
go
starts
said
to
he was
around the
going to
a
re-record
42.
all his
big company
songs.
or to
And if you want to
MTV.
support him, you're going to buy the songs that you bought
To
back in the
throw.
days under the new thing that he got cracking.
That's on target. Puka Nakua.
You know what I mean?
Massive hit at the end of that play. Oh, baby. But he hangs on through it. Still able to get that first down. Here he is to throw.
Like, imagine someone
Hits him on
coming
the in route. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. Chargers hurrying to the line as the seconds tick away. Looking to throw it. His pass caught by Nakua.
In addition, he also spoke a lot about how the labels control him and other artists and many other entities, and at award shows and so on.
Well, it's not your game. You didn't make the rules, so everything comes hard.
Halfway to the marker. It's
As
second and
long
5.
as you're signed to a contract, you're going to take a minority share of the winnings. A select few of us will do well.
Gets this one to
The
Nakua.
majority will not.
And this one does not go far.
So as a people,
There's the timeout called, and we're going to see if they think there's
We'll be
enough time
considered a
for
minority.
some plays or just one
But
last
stop.
snap.
let's take a moment and look at yourself.
Now to throw. Need this
There's
to
nothing
force
minor
overtime.
about you. You are a blessed people.
Deflected. Oh, but it couldn't bring it in off the tip drill.
You're the
Oh,
most
they had the
talented on
chance.
earth, and you are still great.
Oh, that's how this one's going to end.
That is why upon winning in their game, you always thank God.
And there was no easy
Tonight I would like to ask one favor of you.
until the very end, but their defense carried
Imagine
that
what we'll all be
small
like
lead through
in
to
our
the
own
finish
game.
line as they
Peace
escaped
and
with
love
the
for one
victory.
another.
Prince was so serious
So
about
that's gonna do
standing
it for
on
us here
business
at
that in
EA
a move to
Sports. This has
reclaim his
been
art
another
on the internet in
presentation of Madden
2007, he
Ultimate
announced he
Team.
was going to
The
take action
Dolphins, you're the
against
winners,
YouTube,
as we say
eBay,
so
and
long
the
from
Pirate
Miami.
Bay for unauthorized use of his music. Well, Prince eventually regained ownership of his name, and he worked out some sort of deal with Warner. But not long after that, he died under very suspicious circumstances. For those who recall, when Prince died, the story was that he died at the age of 57 after being found unresponsive at his estate in Minnesota. At the time, health officials determined Prince died of an accidental fentanyl OD after unknowingly taking counterfeit Vicodin laced with a highly potent synthetic opioid. And he was found in an elevator, the same elevator he called the devil.
thing that, kind of spooked me about it all
Michael Jackson?
was
Fentanyl?
a phone call. Let's go crazy. Yeah, and it said, don't let
Fentanyl
the
killing
elevator
everybody, man.
And one time I was with him privately. He said, the elevator is right. And I was like, "Oh, what's the elevator?" He said, well, the elevator is the devil. Right? It scared me. I don't like to talk like that, but he said that. And so for me, it was like really haunting when I read that he was found in an elevator.
Of course, his death never made sense to anyone because nobody could
Out of the
believe
ordinary.
famously
Yeah.
clean living Prince died of a painkiller OD. Health problems?
Like that, I don't know. Right? What I know is that he was really health conscious. He was a vegan. He didn't use alcohol. I didn't know him. He worked out, so that also really.
Can I tell me, like, that's what I'm saying. It was so shocking the way they said it happened. And I was just like, what? Even though I didn't know it, it just seemed weird and old, man. Almost every time a
He didn't what?
celebrity passed away, you know,
Oh,
Remember when your mama told you snitches get stitches? Well, in the music biz, it's more. Like snitches disappear, the streets are talking, but the studios quiet as a church mouse. With laryngitis, what's got everyone so scared? They'd rather eat their own Grammys and spills.